It's Monday, March 22nd, and the time for your Barbados Today Morning News Update. The Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers is not on board with calls for the closure of the Government Industrial School. However, President Sharon Rose Gittings says the association is in full support of a thorough and comprehensive investigation into the management and protocols being used at that institution. She stated the position amidst calls from the general public for GIS to be permanently closed following a controversial incident involving a girl at the facility under GIS's care.
The association strongly supports a thorough and comprehensive investigation into the matter at GIS. We have faith in a team of experts to be independent investigators, examining the presenting problem through many angles, such as the reasons for which government industrial schools have been established are still in existence today. They will come up with a correct diagnosis that is treatable in the short term, medium, and long term, and will not reinvent the wheels. We therefore do not support the call for government industrial school to be closed. Government industrial school is a key safety net for reform in Barbados, and it has provided us a level of stability for all. If we are honest with ourselves, all such youth and adult incidences make us more aware that our families and communities are broken and in crisis.
Rose Gittings has also given support to the proposed juvenile justice bill.
The association stands in solidarity for a win-win result. The new juvenile justice bill now must be restructured around COVID-19 protocols, and we believe it is worth it. Be mindful that further institutional strengthening will be needed and can only be achieved when the national parenting and co-parenting programs are adopted, the engagement of social workers in all primary schools, the membership on all children and juvenile boards to include at least one professional social worker, and where there are social work vacancies, such as HMP DODs, let them be filled by a social worker.
Meantime, Minister of Home Affairs, Information and Public Affairs, Wilfred Abrams, disclosed that a new child protection legislation and a new child justice bill is expected to go before Cabinet soon. Speaking during a press conference over the weekend, the minister made it clear that the legislation was already in the works and was not a reaction to the unfortunate incident which took place at the GIS.
The child protection legislation deals with all aspects of children. It deals with children in households. It deals with what age you can leave a child unattended. It deals with what constitutes abuse. It deals with the age of criminal responsibility. It is the whole thing. Probably one of the most holistic pieces of legislation we've ever embarked upon. It will be the most progressive piece of legislation in Barbados once it has passed. We settled the policies in relation to that last Friday, and those will likely come to Cabinet this Thursday this week, or if not this week, the week after. Once those have been agreed by Cabinet, we are also working with UNICEF to fast track the drafting of the legislation. So this is not kicking the can down the road. All of this was in train and being actively worked on. So I've heard people saying that, there's a response, that we're reacting. Right? It's not that we are reacting. A lot was in train, that even had the incident not occurred, we would have seen a transformation in short order with respect to how we deal with children before entering the judicial system and after.
A decision to alter the employment positions of senior public sector workers is high on the agenda of the National Union of Public Workers. That's according to Union President Akani McDowell, who also said the NUPW had accomplished much despite the challenging environment resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. The report from McDowell came as he addressed a service at the St. George Parish Church yesterday to begin a series of activities to mark Public Workers Week under the theme Trade Union Resilience in the Midst of the COVID-19 Pandemic.
Despite these challenging times, the union has accomplished much, even more significant in the context of the pandemic. We vigorously negotiated with government to ensure that the BOSS program was voluntary and not forced as originally proposed. We have been able to make some headway in improving the lives of public servants by ensuring our public officers were appointed. We are still in the process of addressing who fell outside those specific set of criteria used. There is now a policy put forward by the union that provides the framework for flexible working arrangements and working from at home. High on the agenda moving forward is a discussion about altering the senior public service posts and the implications for public officers. These are but a snapshot of some of the achievements and some of the matters we continue to work on for our members. We remain firm in our resolve to fight injustices perpetrated against our membership, because quality representation for workers is our goal, and delivering equality for all is our defining purpose as a union.
18 people, 10 women and 8 men tested positive for COVID-19 on Saturday, pushing the total confirmed cases to date to 3,551. That's a breakdown of 1,699 females and 1,852 males. 3,330 people have recovered from the virus, and 39 COVID-19 related deaths have been recorded so far. 28 people recovered and were discharged, taking the number of cases in isolation to 182. The Democratic Labour Party says it is disappointed with the 2021-2022 estimates of revenue and expenditure being presented by the government. DLP President Volodymyr Pisa, speaking on the party's virtual program, The Sunday Roast, last night, said that the finances allocated to some sectors were not adequate.
You can test the seriousness by where the money is put. Literally put the money where your mouth is. And we're not seeing that the cultural industries are being respected. I noted the figure from the estimates for creative initiatives was $260,000 for a whole year. That is chicken feed. Agriculture has not been given the respect. It was the one industry, the one portfolio that showed growth, notwithstanding COVID. And we don't see the respect being given to it in terms of the money. When we were shaping out for tourism, and we should, it is not that we are abandoning tourism, is that we are recognizing that we are in a space where tourism cannot be our driving force, and using the opportunity to build out other industries.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
News from the region. Healthcare workers in the Bahamas breathe a sigh of relief as vaccinations against COVID-19 get on the way. More from Our News Bahamas.
We wasn't just living for ourselves, but we were living for our co-workers and for our family.
Catherine Rogers is the chief clerk in the Department of Pathology. She says the last year has been rough, but they did what they had to keep people safe.
You had to keep a distance. It was like only 4 persons allowed in the tea room at a time, no more than 4, 1 person at the desk, and you had to sign in to make sure to follow contract tracing and all of that. So it was getting tedious.
Marina Lightford, who has lupus, says she experienced anxiety daily working through the pandemic.
Very stressful. Very timid to even go outside. Very timid to come to work. And we work indirectly with the services here. So You know, we still are at risk walking in the public places.
By October 2020, 243 healthcare workers had been infected with the virus. PMH staff made up 116 of the healthcare workers infected. Dr. Carolyn Burnett-Garraway says as an emergency room doctor, contracting COVID-19 was constantly on her mind.
I'm an emergency physician, and so I do manage patients in the accident and emergency department. And there's always that worry that, you know, I could be exposed, I could get COVID-19, I could take it home to my family. And so this is one tool in the fight that we've been going through for the past year with this pandemic in the Bahamas and worldwide. And I'm so excited that hopefully we can, soon get back to normal.
These healthcare workers all received the vaccine this week and say they're encouraging the public to do the same.
And finally, concerns over large crowds gathering for spring break posing a COVID-19 risk has led to a state of emergency being declared in Miami Beach, including an 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. More from Reuters TV.
After scenes like this one across Miami, Florida, hard-partying spring breakers gathered in the streets, flouting social distancing rules and not wearing masks, the city of Miami Beach imposed an 8 p.m. curfew in its busiest entertainment district as it attempts to control hordes of vacationers who have become unruly in recent days. Under the new order, police on Saturday blocked off the popular Art Deco Historic District in South Beach, and all businesses within the blocked-off area were forced to close. Officials also shut down the highways leading in and out of the city. Officials were scheduled to hold a meeting on Sunday to decide whether to extend the curfew measures. The crackdown comes as partiers from across the state and country have flocked to Miami Beach for its warm weather, famed party scene, and loose COVID-19 restrictions compared to other states.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.